BEL Promo is a trusted supplier in the promotional products industry, helping distributors succeed with low minimums starting at just 12 pieces, fast production, and dependable service. From drinkware and bags to tech and apparel, BEL Promo offers deep inventory, simplified pricing, and flexible solutions to support projects of any size. With marketing support, mock-ups, and spec samples available, BEL Promo makes it easier for distributors to win business. Because yes, you can BEL Promo that.
Hello and welcome to Promo Perspectives. My name is Nicole Cook, and today I am joined by Ellen and Jessica from PPAI to talk about the International Leadership Summit, often referred to as ILS. It's a unique event that brings together leaders from across the global promotional products industry, and it is a collaborative effort between PPAI and EAC, which is the European Association Cooperation. And today we're going to share what makes this event so valuable. So, first of all, thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
And can you both kick us off just telling us a little bit about you, your role at PPAI, and then your involvement with the event?
I would love to. Jessica, why don't you go first?
For sure. So Jessica Gibbons-Rausch, I'm the Director of Professional Development here at PPAI. And I have really enjoyed seeing this international connection that we have with our membership because we are a global industry, and being able to find out not only what they're looking for, but how we relate, how we're similar has just been absolutely eye-opening. And I know we've had a lot of content come out of this. So led by Ellen Tucker.
Awesome.
I am Ellen Tucker. I'm the Chief Revenue and Experience Officer for PPAI. And within my role, I have responsibility for professional development, which Jessica leads for us, our experiences through Ashley Vanderstuyf, who runs all of our conferences and the PPAI Expo, as well as our revenue generation, membership, community. So far-reaching things, but ILS happens to be one of the things that rolls up to me.
Awesome. Well, let's level set here for anybody who may not be familiar with the event at all. What is the International Leadership Summit? How would you both describe it?
So I would describe it as an opportunity for senior leaders in the industry to come together, really discuss how they can look across borders, work together, but also discuss the commonalities that happen no matter where you're located within the industry.
I love that. And I would add on too that it's one of the more conversational conferences that we have that it's, I love all of our conferences. Don't get me wrong. They're all fantastic. However, I love the fact that people were so open and so conversational, and it was just such a great connection, and being able to do that with our European partners and our global partners. It's so refreshing to see everyone take a step back and have these deep, vulnerable moments and have these conversations. It didn't matter what level they were or what company they were from. It's collaboration over competition for sure.
Yeah. And actually, to that end, can you guys talk a little bit more about your partnership and collaboration with EAC? Like, how does that all come together?
Yeah, so the EAC is made up of, I believe it's 11 different associations from Europe. And so we work with them and collaborate in a lot of different ways. We share information about research, we share content, and a bunch of different areas. And I think the goal here is really to break down borders, right? Both within Europe and across the pond as well, and really be able to drive and strengthen commerce, to talk about geopolitics, to talk about cross-border trade dynamics, but really being able to be a resource for one another and share that thought leadership.
Yeah. How does the global connection enhance or change the conversations compared to other leadership summits that you might have?
So I would say that it's interesting because there's a lot of times where you need to resource something. You have a client who needs to get something to a different country, and being able to make those connections to be able to drive your business forward. But really being able to talk about the learnings. Each country has different strengths and different areas that they're leading the way, right? And so we're able to really use what we've learned in different areas to strengthen all of our different bring that back to our own individual countries, and share that even more globally, with people that aren't there.
Yeah.
I think there's so many opportunities where we've been talking global for a really long time and being able to connect with the associations. Like I've always kind of fangirled a little bit over some of the European things that they've been able to do. They used to have an epic fashion show at their shows and all
Oh,
these
wow.
things. But then you get to the practical side where, like Ellen said, so let's say you have an event that's European and you have people coming from all over the globe. How do you make sure the PMS matches on the lanyards they're wearing? These simple
Yeah.
things that we've been trying to answer for years. And it's still, there is still part of that. And how do we answer the regulations too? The regulations of how products are produced, how data is transferred. It's all different. And if you're not aware of all of those differences, then you're running into risk. Like this is a big risk for you. So being able to have these inputs from the native source is fantastic. And
Hmm.
I know as an association member, since I'm from the industry, I'm new to the association world, having
Hmm.
peers has been so awesome. I
Yeah.
have people I can contact and say, hey, I have this new coursework. Could you take a look at it and see what you think of it?
Yeah.
And they've been so respectful of that. So being able to not only have our members connect, but have us connect too. Like we need to be working together to elevate the industry across all the borders.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jessica, I'm going to stick with you here for a second because I want to talk about the experience and the content that people get when they're at ILS. So, can you talk about the strategy or what it takes to put that content together?
It has been interesting because it's a whole different country and different perspectives. And I love that the members of the EAC have been so open to finding people for us to talk to and some really brilliant resources. But we've really invested in the content this year. And I mean, honestly, you just want me to nerd out for a minute because I get very excited about this stuff. But I just got off the phone actually with one of our keynotes, Susie O'Neill, who is not only, I know we talk a lot about AI, everybody's got an AI presentation, but the fact that she is diving in and tailoring this to our industry so closely is
Mm,
so exciting. For the first day, it's going to be a little more inspirational. We're going to have some geopolitical conversations there too, but we're trying to balance out we have Ben Saunders, who is a Antarctic expedition leader who is just
wow.
fantastic. And his ability to tie these cross, I don't even understand it because the ski thing is totally out of my element, but he is able to tie that sports kind of mindset into
Hmm.
leadership. So it's definitely going to set the tone for the conference. And then the second day, that's when we'll have Susie. That's our full day. So we'll have a little bit more like how are we diving into our businesses? How are we making sure that we are using AI when it's appropriate? What are leaders doing? How do we learn from each other? How can we elevate these conversations? And I'm hoping we're going to have a closing keynote that hasn't been published yet, that is going to just absolutely wrap everything up because she's a futurist. So she's going to talk about, we're going to go from AI to an actual futurist and just keep people in that moment. And then this conference is a little different because it starts a half day, does a full day, and then a half day,
Uh-huh.
which is something because we're trying to, we want to service our audience here. So that last half day, we have even more content going. So we are not stopping. There's conversations, there's roundtables, there's content every single day. And my hope is to perfectly align all of our learning objectives so that they walk out with actual tangible things that they can take to their business, but also that we're all a little bit inspired on how we can work better together, and have those
Hmm.
deeper conversations that just seem to naturally happen. And I'm also so grateful for Ashley, as Ellen mentioned. She is the one behind all of the moments and the experiences, and not only does she keep me very well versed in snacks and coffee, but she's able to make sure that in those moments where we're giving breaks, people are able to digest the information and take a moment. And the space is so beautiful. If you need to step outside and just touch grass for a minute because your brain is working so hard, this is an ideal place to do that. So she has definitely brought it with all of the moments to make it just well rounded because I'll overwhelm people with all the fun content, but she really balances us out. So yeah, it's just, and especially like getting off of these conversations where they're diving into our industry to make sure that
Hmm.
their brilliance is lining. Oh, I could not be more excited.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it's coming through. And by the way, you just said something that I feel like is very overlooked is the like breather moments and the time in between. Like, I don't know that everybody can fully appreciate. especially coming off of something that you are learning so much, like it's equally as important to make sure that you can absorb and digest that information so that you can take it back, and the environment that is curated really plays a lot into that. So I just wanted to shout that out because I feel like that goes unnoticed.
And it's important for us to meet our learners where they are. And I know
Yeah.
we want to make sure that they are able to process that information. So thank you for noticing.
Yes, yes. Ellen, what are topics that you feel like really stand out to people? Like, what are things that people are most interested in that you've seen at these events?
So one of the sessions that I'm looking forward to the most is we're going to have a panel where each of the associations is going to talk about, we're going to have three associations talking about different research that they've done. And we're also going to have Oxford Economics there talking about some recent research we have them doing on the global impact of promotional
Mm-hmm.
and branded merch. And so I'm really excited about that. I think it gives us all a different level to talk about with the statistics that we have, some very fresh research that we'll all be ignited by. One of the other things that gets me really excited about International Leadership Summit is that we have a good group of young professionals that come and on the, I believe it's the full day. They actually leave for the end of it to go do an outdoor session on their own that's led by
Oh,
one of
wow.
the associations. And so they have a whole task force for young professionals within the EAC. And so we have a good driving force from that within the attendance as well. So I'm just very excited about that. We're going to also talk about the future of the industry in one of our panels. But Jessica does such a great job of curating the content. The EAC has done an amazing job of collaborating with us in the development of that and identifying some speakers and some panelists for us. So it's really a collaborative effort, and we're just very grateful for how everything's coming together this year and excited for how attendance looks. We're excited that Sage is actually going to be in attendance this year as well. We have two Sage people coming over, David and Blake, and so excited to have them there and experience it in person as well.
Yeah.
They've already been asked to be on a panel.
Oh, of course. Of course. And hopefully they are. Just kidding. Make the nudge to them. Speaking of a little bit like logistical things, where is ILS this year for anybody who may not be familiar?
Yeah, so we're at the same location we were last year in Belgium, and it's actually in a UNESCO forest, and it gives you that environment, to Jessica's point earlier, when you need to go outside and you need to touch the grass and you need a break. The breaks are actually outdoors, and so you go into this room and you grab whatever snacks you want, and then you get to go outside and you get to talk, whether you're talking about what you just learned or just talking about business in general. The environment, it feels like you are in a remote location without having to go through the travel effects of being in a location. And so it's very easy to get to. So yeah, it's exciting to be back. We will be going somewhere different in 2027. I'm going to announce that site shortly after the event. But looking forward to continuing to evolve the summit.
Yeah. And then just another question. You guys said it earlier, but I want to just hone in on it in case anybody missed it. But let's talk a little bit more about who specifically this event is for.
So the event is designed for senior leaders in the branded merch industry. But like I mentioned, we do have a contingent of young professionals that come as well. So we are really looking at that top tier education, professional development, talking about geopolitics and economy, and bringing together industry leaders that can have that next level conversation.
And then anything else that I have not asked that you would like to say about the event or want to make sure that is covered today?
I don't know that there's anything specific other than I think it's an event unlike anything else in our industry. And it's just really exciting to be in the second edition of it because you always learn something, you always continue to improve. And so I'm looking forward to seeing some familiar faces that were there last year, but I'm also excited because I think about 50% of our attendees that are signed up for this year right now weren't there last year. And so
Awesome.
continuing to grow the event and just expand and be able to think about it differently. We are going to have different experiences this year outside of education that we didn't have last year. So really just bringing that next level to this event in its second year.
I think that's a
Awesome.
great point that it is the second year, which means like we're just going to keep building this. And I think people, if you're not in now, you're kind of missing out on this grassroots beginning. If you think of our other conferences when they first started and how they've evolved, if people really want to be a part of this continuing conversation, this is the time. This is the time to jump in. And I hope that we see more people coming year after year because they know that they have this great experience as well as bringing a friend, like all of
Yeah.
our new people that are coming in that haven't been there before. And I will say we are going to try to borrow the young professional idea that they had, and we might be doing that in our own young professional group at LDC.
Nice.
So it's nice how it all comes full circle.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, for anybody who is listening to this, they fall into the right category of people, how can they sign up?
If you go to PPAI's website and go to our events tab, you can sign up right there. You can also always reach out directly to Jessica or myself. And we're just looking forward to seeing everybody in Belgium in June.
Awesome. Well, thank you both again so much for joining me. This is exciting. I will say, for anybody who's been listening each week, we've been doing a little bit of a series to talk about the different conferences with PPAI, and I leave all of them feeling very excited and a lot of FOMO about them. Though I do get to be at WLC, so I'm excited that
Oh,
I'll get to, yeah,
amazing.
that'll be my first time. So I'm very, very excited about that. But hearing about all of the conferences PPAI puts on are really, I can just sense every single time the amount of care and attention to detail and value that is really emphasized in each of them. So if anybody isn't convinced yet, you should sign up.
That's
All
great. Thank
right.
you so much, Nicole.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for joining me. And thank you guys for listening to another week of Promo Perspectives. We will see you on our next installment. Bye.